All right, lots of videos lately, huh? I didn't want to scare you guys with my dilated eyes. I just got back from the eye doctor, so got my glasses on. But there's been a lot of interest in the EVO Gold Fretwire lately. I've been getting a lot of emails. So I thought I would go over what I think of the EVO Gold. I love it. And the tonal differences, I'll put a link. Hopefully I can put a link to Holger. They call him Hoagie. Holger Notzel, Notzel, I think, on Instagram. He's got a thing. He's a really great luthier in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And he's got a demo where he puts a handful of nickel frets, handful of stainless steel frets, and a handful of EVO gold frets. And he shakes them. And you can hear the tinniness or chinkiness, I don't know what you call it, of the material. And of course, you know, the nickel silver just has a nice soft sound, and then the stainless steel is super bright and very high pitched. And then the EVO gold is somewhere between the two, which is the reason why I chose it to begin with, because I didn't want super bright. And I can vouch for these frets here. I've still got some leftover wire. I don't know if this is at least maybe enough for 2 guitars. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but I'm going to keep it. But I don't know if you can see how pretty it is. That's why I put these on my 2 vintage guitars, because I was playing them so much that nickel silver, I have to get them refretted every 6 months. It was driving me nuts. So I can say that these things do not wear out. I'll put a link to the video when I first started using these frets, and I'm thinking it's at least 10 years ago. So over those 10 years, these frets have not worn out, except they have taken like a little wavy form to them, and I'll show you what I mean. But it's a really strange wear. I mean, where the string contacts the fret, it's perfect, but in between the strings, it's like a little wave. It's hard to explain, but it doesn't affect the crown. But I'm going to recrown these frets, and I'll show you in a second with my new Z file. I just got this. These suckers are $110, $120. I don't know, for that little thing, it's a lot of money, but this is the original one, which is kind of has an offset angle, 2 different angles, and it's made so that it doesn't touch the top of the crown, so that you don't take any material off the top. You just round out the crown, and it works great. I've already done 3 frets. I'll show you the 3 frets, and then I've got about 6 or 7 more. Past the 12th fret, they don't seem to wear at all, because you don't go up there that much, but past the 12th fret, there's not anywhere. But down where the strings really vibrate a lot, towards the nut, you get this weird little wavy wear, and I'll show you. But all right, let's look at the guitar. Also got my pickup in, and I haven't put the strings on because I decided to recrown these frets, but it's sounding good. I turned it up with the fuzz, just plugged in with the fuzz on, no strings, but had it cranked and there was no squeal, and it sounded nice and clear, so I think we're in good shape there, and I'll demo that pretty soon. All right, I love this guitar. It's a 66, I'm calling it, and for the longest time I didn't think this was a factory finish, but I'm almost positive it's factory if you look at the neck pocket. But I just wanted to show you the pickup, because the blue tape was on there when the pickup wasn't there. But there she is. She's back in there, ready to go. I just keep this on there to keep the steel wool from the fibers from sticking to the magnets, because I use steel wool to polish these things. But check out these 3 frets that I just recrowned and did. I don't know if you can see how pretty those are. And this is after 10 years of wear. I mean, they haven't lost anything, you know, no height, no nothing. They're just really nice. You can see where the crown has widened a little bit where the string hits. The weird thing is it just gets this kind of wavy feel to it. And my old Keith Richards finger there. But very little wear where the string makes contact. And when you recrown them, they look perfect. And so, this Z file works really good. I'm pretty much an amateur, but I do have one of their other diamond recrowning files, and it takes off material off the top. So that's exactly why I bought this, because I didn't want to take any height off. But you can see somewhere until you get up around this area, around the 12th fret, and you can see they don't look like they've been worn at all. So I'm just going to take out this waviness, and I'll show you how I do that. All right, you tape them, or I bought these, but rarely use them. They have a new version now that has a little notch here, which I could cut notches, and they put rubber bands around them to hold them down and bend them to the shape of the radius. And these work good if you're going to get super rough, but I don't plan on touching the fretboard if I can avoid it. But of course, you got to get your magic blue pen. Why everybody uses blue, I don't know, but I found a blue one. I think black would work too, but it seems like everybody uses blue. And just mark the top like that. Yeah, make it as dark as possible. And that's just so you can make sure you don't take anything off of the top. Now I'm just going to go through this fast so you can see what I'm doing. But the cool thing about this file, can you see the kind of strange angle there? And then you just see how the long side is on the right, short side on the left. Then you turn it around like this. The long side is on the left and the short side is on the right. So here we go. I mean, it doesn't take much for this thing to cut some fret off. So you just kind of go one side and then just turn it like this. And go the other side. One of them kind of works the bottom of the fret and the other side works the top of the fret. Now see, my line is already getting pretty thin. So at this point, I have to be very careful. So, yeah, you saw I just barely touched it. But I'm gonna focus on this for a second and I'll be right back. All right, I got that line about as thin as I can go without touching the top. One thing I forgot to show you was that I always check with this fret rocker. Be sure there's nothing high. If it rocks, then you know you got a high fret there. And this would, oops, that scared me. But you know, it's got the 4 different sides for different areas of the neck. That's for the long frets. And then when you get up to the very top, you use this little side. But I check it first and I check it after, and everything's looking good. So all I need to do now is polish it. And I got another StewMac device here, my little sand stick. And I think this has got 488 grit on it. The camera's kind of in the way, but I'll go like this. But you can see I just sand it, trying to avoid the top again, just to smooth out the scratches. Once I'm finished with the stick, And I take my quad aught or 4-0 and I put this on the stick and I'll buff it up. Oh, you get the point here, but just buff it up with the stick and the steel wool. Alright, I'll show you what this secret sauce does. Happich. Makes it look like gold jewelry. I used to use, I'll show you. I used to use one of those rubber buffing wheels that StewMac, buffing discs that StewMac sells. I'll show you. And those are a pain in the butt. I don't think you really need it because they're hard to get on the fret correctly, and they spin so fast that it makes, if you're not careful, you can make that fret red hot. I haven't done it, but I'm pretty sure you don't want your fret's getting really hot. But I used to use that. Don't use it anymore after I saw how good the polish works. See? All right. And some people asked if I got annoyed with the gold color. And you really have to point it out to somebody and let, you know, guitarists might notice it. I mean, obviously they don't look like nickel, but you can't really tell. I like the gold look, but some people prefer the nickel look. But that's it. I've got 7 more frets to do. Then I'm gonna string it up and I'll do a little demo of that rewound neck pickup that I've been waiting for so long for. As far as I can tell right now, that thing's sounding great. So I'm real happy about that. The wax potting, well, I don't know if I mentioned it. Yeah, I think I did. When the wax potting was a success, I went in there and just touched it with a screwdriver to make sure everything was working, the magnets. And then I cranked it up with the fuzz and there was no squeal, so I think we're good to go. But all right, I hope this helps you guys. Great wire. Like I said, at least 10 years old. If you don't ever want to replace your frets again, I would highly recommend it. I also think I'm gonna do a quick Hey Baby, New Rising Sun tutorial on that Vibe demo I did. Everybody wanted to learn that song, so I'll do that soon. But I'll talk to you guys later. All right, I just wanted to show you the difference in a fret that hasn't been done yet. Can you see that? And one that has been done, so the top is a lot smoother. But you can see they're not too bad, even when they're played for 10 years. All right, it's a done deal. It looks like no more lumps. Gorgeous. Looks like a brand new guitar. I did them all just so that they would all be nice and shiny and smooth. But that Z file, that's the ticket. All right, on to the next project.